Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's bird video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's bird video. So day 10 will take us to the 31st of May, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with its GFS ensembles, maybe on a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will get us into the middle or second half of June actually. So I shall get on that for you in a moment. Oh, sorry everybody, just say that first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released extended European outlook as well. Check out those two bits, so please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone. Right, so we're going to start off with the CT. Central temperature is now sitting at 14.4. That is 3.3 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, and that is provisional to yesterday, to the 20th of May. Very warm, first 20 days to per month. Sorry again, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Looking at London today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around to slightly above average at the moment, going a little bit cooler though when we get through towards the end of this coming week and into the bank holiday weekend, and then starting to lift up again as we go through the closing days of May and into the beginning of June. Precipitation-wise, we've got some very wet weather to come tomorrow, actually. A bit of a deluge for some parts of eastern and also central and northern England. After that, we're going a little bit dry, but not completely settled. There is still precipitation spikes there through the bank holiday weekend, and they actually start increasing a little bit when we get through to the early part of June. Temperature anomalies from the 21st to the 29th of May, close to average, a little bit below in the south, a little bit above in the north, not a big deviation either way. And precipitation anomalies from the 21st, 29th of May, most areas coming out wetter than average. That is primarily down to tomorrow, but also to Thursday as well. The latest info from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got an area of low beginning to start getting going to our east. Let's see if we can find it. So we've dragged the map around where we've got like a circulation going on down here. So that's probably part of it. And we've also got like a elongation through the North Sea as well. So I would imagine like two little features that are merging together there. Right, this is our latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Friday under that area of low pressure, still bringing unsettled conditions with it. Into the weekend, have high pressure to the east, low pressure to the west, winds coming up from a warm southerly direction. And then getting to the beginning of next week, and low pressure comes meandering in from off Atlantic, bringing the risk of some heavy showers and possibly even some rumbles of thunder in with it there. Could be quite a warm bank holiday weekend, but I think it probably will be relatively showery as well. I can't, again, with that trough of low pressure over top of the country on Friday, bring more wet weather in with it, and then into the weekend we start advancing low pressure in from off the Atlantic. High pressure then starts to build from the Azores through the early part of next week. That's the situation midday next Tuesday. High pressure in the south, a low to the north and the west, so mostly dry and quite warm in the south, but a little bit more unsettled in the north and the west. The GFS midnight run, again, with that low pressure clearing away to the east, a ridge building from the west, and then into the bank holiday weekend, we find that we have this sort of flabby ridge sitting over the country, but probably still not quite strong enough to make it completely dry. I would imagine there will still be further showery conditions over the bank holiday weekend. Should be relatively warm, and then next week it starts to turn more unsettled as this area of low pressure begins to come in from off the Atlantic, and that brings showery conditions in with it as we're heading up towards brown days 8, 9, and 10. It starts to turn a little bit more unsettled from the west then. And then into the extended range, well, a ridge is building from the Azores up to northern parts of Europe. A lot of dry and quite warm weather involved in that, and we get to the end of the GFS midnight run again with low pressure way to the north and west, and this ridge from the Atlantic into northern Europe should be mostly dry and quite warm as we go through the opening days of June there, if that comes up. But GFS 6 then again, everybody, GFS 6 said, so that the trough of low across Scotland on Friday gets out of the way for the bank holiday weekend as lower pressure starts coming in from off the Atlantic into next week. We have a ridge down to southwest, should keep south mostly dry, quite warm. Will be a little bit more unsettled though to the north and the west, and we get to days 9 and 10 with further areas of low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, bringing showering conditions in with them into the extended range. Yes, we keep it pretty unsettled as well, with further areas of low pressure bring the wind in from the northwest, so quite cool and showering through the opening days of June on this GFS run, in complete contrast to the first GFS midnight run. That's a setup by the 6th of June under a ridge of high pressure. Should be turning warmer in the south anyway under that ridge. There is a Fundry low but sitting close to Spain and Portugal and Biscay, so that could be one to watch. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Make sure to everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We need to put on around sort of 16, 17 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k. So we're very close to 18.2k now. And you could give us a sub, it would be amazing. And we will thank you so much for doing that. Right, GM, again with low pressure just to our east on Friday, bringing in this cool, showery northerly wind. And then into the bank holiday weekend, where we've got high pressure reaching out to the west, high pressure reaching to the east, I should say. Low pressure is out to the west, looking rather showery, but should be quite warm. And then into next week, low pressure keeps on coming from off the Atlantic, bringing further showers, if not long spells of rain, in with it through days 8, 9 and 10. We keep it rather unsettled and changeable. Again, and then the ECM showing a trough of low sitting over and to the east of the country on Friday and into the bank holiday weekend. So looks relatively dry and quite warm down the south, but a little bit more showery up in the north. High pressure wind starts building across the north and the west of Europe as we go into bank holiday Monday and then Tuesday, back to work, before a lower trough starts pushing through Wednesday and then into Thursday and Friday next week. Well, again, we get a bridge building from the southwest for the last day of the month, so turning a little bit drier again. So very much alternating, day by day between lower pressure, higher pressure, drier and more unsettled conditions, really. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So we've got all of this rain piling in from the east tonight and tomorrow. Very wet day across some parts of England, Wales, and pushing up into Scotland as well tomorrow and through into Thursday. After that, things start turning a little bit drier until we get to bank holiday weekend. Then some showery bursts start moving in from the west then. So, not completely settled, but there will be dry spells as well as we go through the bank holiday weekend into next week. That's a setup by the very end of the GFS, the ECM midnight run, I should say. And we're talking mostly dry by that point, but there is more rain lurking out to the north and the west. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. From ECM.int gets us to the 31st of May. 21 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure up towards Iceland, high pressure pull down into the Atlantic. So looking a little bit showery with like a westerly flow probably with that. We have got 16 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to the north and the northwest, high pressure pulled out into the Atlantic. Again, that potentially looks rather showery, particularly for the north and the west, but should be mostly dry, you would have thought, down in the south. And then we've got 13. We've got 13, with high pressure from the north to the west of Europe and out into the Atlantic. again, should bring a lot of dry weather and warm weather with that particular option 14 members doing that. But the majority option is probably a little bit more showering and cooler, if anything. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 5th of June, 17 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure dominating from off the Atlantic, unsettled and very mixed. And then we've got 13 with high pressure to the south and low pressure is to the north and looking rather flat and westerly, then dry to the south, most unsettled up in the north. And we have got another 11 with high pressure sitting right over top of the country. That should be mainly dry and potentially very warm. And finally, we've got 10 with high pressure away to the east. And low pressure is out to the west. So winds are coming up from a southerly direction. That could bring quite warm air up from the south, but might go a little bit volatile, especially with this cut-off low down towards Spain, Portugal. It might turn a bit thundery. Well, CFS V2 finally, and then we're done. So these are 500 millibar height storms breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes from 21st, 27th of May. Next week, or the next week, we'll have high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south, and winds will be coming in from an easterly direction. Not pretty warm and probably wettest to the south of the country. And then week 2 will be the 28th of May to the 3rd of June with high pressure again somewhere between Iceland and Scandinavia. Winds remaining from the east, that's looking dry and warm or very warm as well. Week 3 will be the 4th to the 10th of June. High pressure beginning to retreat back towards Eastern Europe a little bit. Low pressure in the Atlantic, and that could start to bring something rather more unsettled in from off the Atlantic, possibly following a thundery breakdown. And then finally, week 4 will be the 11th to the 17th of June as high pressure retreats way to the east. But also, we get a ridge between Iceland and Scandinavia, low pressure to the southwest UK and Ireland. That will draw the wind up from the south, so it will bring a lot of very warm weather with it. But again, could be unsettled, maybe even risk of thunder to the south and the west. We shall see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to everyone board doing that. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids and drop a comment too. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. I'll just tell you what's happening on the channel tomorrow. We're going to have 6 AM UK weather forecast. I think we'll have our final instalment for the bank holiday weekend, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day coming up for you tomorrow as well. So you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and for this one though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.